Ever feel like you're stuck on that hamster wheel of overwork?
Hmm.
Always busy, but like not really getting anywhere.
Yeah.
Well, today we're diving into AI for Hustlers, How to Stay Connected and Not Get Left Behind
Okay.
by Yaboy Rick to discover how AI can be like your secret weapon
Uh-huh.
to break free from that,
Right.
you know?
Right.
And this book, it's a real eye-opener. It's
Yeah.
not your typical like tech jargon-filled
Yeah.
guide.
Yeah.
It's like having a straight-talking friend
Yeah.
break down how to use AI to like live a better life.
Yes. And what struck me was how Yaboy Rick debunks this whole myth that AI is only for like tech geniuses.
Right.
He shows how anyone, even
Yeah.
if you're just using your phone, like
Right.
can leverage AI for everyday tasks.
Exactly. Like, who wouldn't want a cheat code to escape the hustle trap?
Yeah.
But first, let's unpack this whole hamster wheel idea.
Mm,
The book argues that today's hustle culture can be a trap,
right.
keeping us busy but not necessarily leading to fulfillment.
Exactly. What's fascinating here is Yaboy Rick highlights how the very definition of success has shifted.
Okay.
It used to be that hard work practically guaranteed a certain level of success.
Mm-hmm.
But now with technology changing everything so rapidly, it's more about working smarter.
Yeah.
He actually calls overwork a hamster wheel they built for you to run on.
Wow.
And he goes on to explain the high cost of staying on that wheel.
Okay, so let's talk about those costs. He breaks it down into like 4 major areas, right?
Yeah.
Time,
Mm-hmm.
health, relationships, and potential. I
Exactly.
mean, the time thing is huge.
Yeah.
We're constantly sacrificing time with loved ones, time for things we're passionate about, even just time to chill.
And then there's the impact on our health.
Yeah.
It's not sustainable to be in a constant state of stress and burnout.
Right.
That takes a toll on both our physical and mental well-being.
And it ripples outwards, too.
Yeah.
The book talks about how overwork can really damage our relationships. We miss out on family dinners, moments with our kids, all those little things that build connection.
And then maybe the most profound cost is to our potential.
Oh.
When we're always grinding, we don't have the mental space to explore new things,
Right.
to learn and grow.
Yeah.
We end up stuck, unable to reach our full potential.
So this is where AI comes in,
Right.
right?
Right.
The book positions AI as this solution,
Mm-hmm.
this way to break free from the hamster wheel.
Yeah.
But honestly, when I first heard the title, I thought, AI. I can barely keep up with my email.
And that's exactly the misconception Yaboy Rick tackles head on.
Oh.
He doesn't throw around complicated algorithms or expect you to be a programmer.
Yeah.
He focuses on simple, everyday AI tools that we often take for granted.
Give me an example. What kind of tools are we talking about?
Think about your calendar app.
Okay.
That's AI intelligently managing your schedule, or services like Zapier and IFTTT, which can handle all those little repetitive tasks so you don't have to. Even the AI assistant on your phone can be a game changer.
Wow, I never thought of those as AI.
Mm.
So the book is saying we can actually reclaim hours each week just by using our phones more effectively.
Absolutely. The book is packed with specific examples like how AI can help you manage your finances,
Sure.
streamline your work, even find the best route home to avoid traffic.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about working smarter, not harder.
Okay, this is starting to make sense. So if AI is the key to escaping the hamster wheel,
Right.
the book also introduces this idea of time wealth, right?
Yes. Time wealth is a central concept.
Okay.
It's this idea that time is our most valuable asset,
Mm-hmm.
and we should treat it accordingly.
Right.
The book even lays out a 4-step blueprint for building time wealth.
Okay, I'm all ears. Break it down for us. What's step 1?
Step 1 is identifying your priorities.
Okay.
This is where you get really clear on what truly matters to you, your values, your relationships, your passions.
So it's not about just filling your schedule with more stuff. It's about making sure the things you're doing are actually aligned with what you value.
Exactly. Once you know your priorities, step 2 is to build your ideal schedule around them.
Okay.
And this doesn't mean packing every minute with activities.
Right.
It's about scheduling non-negotiable time for things like rest, hobbies, and quality time with loved ones.
So it's like designing a schedule that actually supports your well-being,
Yeah.
not one that leaves you feeling depleted. I love that.
Yeah.
What's next?
Step 3 is all about cutting the clutter.
Okay.
And here's where those AI tools we talked about come in handy.
Right.
Think about all the little tasks, distractions, and commitments that suck up your time
Yeah.
and don't really serve you. Those are what you need to eliminate.
So this could be anything from automating repetitive tasks to setting boundaries with technology, right?
Exactly.
Like maybe I should finally turn off those social media notifications that keep distracting me.
Exactly. It's about creating space for what truly matters. And that leads to the final step. Protecting your time fiercely.
This sounds like the toughest part.
Mm-hmm.
How do you actually protect your time when everyone's always asking for a piece of it?
It's about getting comfortable saying no, setting boundaries, and not letting other people's demands dictate how you spend your time.
Mm-hmm.
It's recognizing that your time is a finite resource and choosing to invest it wisely.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this all comes together.
Mm-hmm.
We identify our priorities, build a schedule that supports those priorities,
Mm-hmm.
cut out the distractions,
Right.
and then fiercely protect that precious time we've carved out for ourselves.
Yeah.
But is this actually realistic? I mean, do people really live like this?
The book actually provides a real-life example of what a time-wealthy daily schedule might look like, and it might surprise you.
Yeah.
It's not about cramming every minute with productivity. It's about balance and tension and prioritizing those things that bring joy and fulfillment.
No, that's what I'm talking about. I'm ready to ditch the hamster wheel and start building my own time wealth.
Yeah.
But before we get into the nitty-gritty of how to actually do that,
Yeah.
let's take a look at another key shift that Yaboy Rick encourages.
Okay.
It's about moving from a productivity-obsessed mindset to one that values presence.
That's a crucial point. The book argues that this constant chasing of productivity can actually lead to burnout and missed connections.
Right.
It's like we're so focused on checking things off our to-do list that we forget to actually live in the moment.
Totally. Like how many times are we hanging out with someone, but we're mentally checked out, scrolling through our phone or thinking about what we need to do next? I know I'm guilty of that.
And Yaboy Rick doesn't just point out the problem. He provides some really practical techniques for cultivating presence in our daily lives.
Okay.
Things like practicing mindfulness, expressing gratitude, limiting distractions, and simply slowing down.
Okay. Let's dive into some of those techniques.
Yeah.
You mentioned mindfulness. What does that look like in practice?
It can be as simple as putting down your phone and really engaging in conversations with the people around you. Making eye contact, listening attentively, being fully present in that interaction.
So it's about choosing connection over distraction. That makes sense.
He also talks about practicing mindfulness even in everyday activities like eating or walking.
Okay.
It's about slowing down, paying attention to your senses, and truly experiencing the present moment rather than rushing through it.
I like that. It's like bringing more awareness and intention to those everyday moments. The book also talks about gratitude, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yaboy Rick suggests taking time each day to reflect on the things you're thankful for.
Okay.
It could be your loved ones, your health, even just a beautiful sunset.
Yeah.
It's about shifting your focus from what you lack to what you have, from what's wrong to what's right.
That's such a simple but powerful shift. When you focus on what you're grateful for, it naturally opens you up to more joy and contentment in the present moment. And this whole concept of presence ties beautifully into the book's emphasis on connection and community, right?
Absolutely. Yaboy Rick talks about building genuine connections with family, friends, and your community as a key element of living a fulfilling life. He argues that we were designed for connection, and when we prioritize those relationships, we tap into a source of joy support, and meaning that we simply can't find anywhere else.
He even uses his own creation of the no bullshit community as an example of how his supportive network can help us navigate life's challenges, celebrate our wins, and encourage our personal growth.
It's a powerful example of how, by coming together and supporting each other, we can achieve more, both individually and collectively.
And this whole idea of unity and collaboration really challenges that competitive mindset many of us have been taught. You know, that idea that we have to constantly be striving, competing, and proving ourselves to be successful.
But Yaboy Rick argues that when we shift from competition to collaboration, from a scarcity mindset to one of abundance, we open ourselves up to more opportunities and success.
Okay.
It's recognizing that someone else's success doesn't diminish our own.
Right.
And that by supporting each other's growth, we all rise together.
It's like building a community where we celebrate each other's wins, offer support during challenges, and create a space for shared learning and growth. Which brings us to the book's final message, which is all about action.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing that the best time to start building a better life is now, and that taking action, even in small steps,
Right.
is the key to creating lasting change.
Yeah, Boy Rick breaks down some really practical advice on overcoming the fear of failure, starting small, celebrating progress, and building momentum toward your goals.
Yeah.
He encourages you to stop waiting for the perfect time or for all the answers and to simply start taking action today.
He reminds us that we don't have to have it all figured out to begin. We can start by identifying one small step we can take today to move closer to our goals and then build from there.
It's about taking action, imperfectly learning as you go, and embracing the journey, knowing that even small steps taken consistently can lead to incredible results over time.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground, but before we jump into part two, I want to touch on something else the book highlights, and that's the importance of community. We mentioned the no bullshit community earlier. What exactly is it, and how can people get involved?
It's an online community. Yawboy Rick, created to provide a space for people to connect, support each other, and continue this journey of personal growth and intentional living.
It sounds like an incredible resource, especially for those who are feeling inspired to make some changes after listening to this.
Absolutely. And the best part is Yawboy Rick actually provides a link to the community in the book. You can find it at https://link.tr.ee/boyrick.
Perfect. We'll make sure to include that link in the show notes as well. Now, we're going to take a quick pause here, but when we come back in part two, we'll be diving into some of the specific AI tools and resources that Yahboy Rick recommends in the book. These are the tools that can help you automate tasks, manage your time more effectively, and ultimately free up more time for the things you truly value. Stay tuned. Welcome back. I'm excited to dive into the practical side of things. The actual AI tools
Right.
that Yahboy Rick recommends in AI for hustlers.
Right.
Because let's be honest, the idea of using AI
Yeah.
can feel a bit intimidating if you're not a tech expert.
You're right, but that's the beauty of this book. Yawboy Rick doesn't just throw a bunch of fancy tech terms at you. He provides a clear and concise list of apps and platforms that can be used for everything from managing your time and automating tasks to getting a handle on your finances and even boosting your creativity.
It's like he's handing us a toolkit to build a smarter,
Right.
more efficient life.
Yeah.
And he starts with time management apps,
Mm-hmm.
which makes perfect sense considering the whole emphasis on reclaiming our time.
He's a big fan of those classic calendar apps, Google Calendar and Apple Calendar.
Right.
They're great for scheduling and setting reminders. But he also suggests some more specialized apps like Focus to Do,
Okay.
which combines task management with something called the Pomodoro technique.
Now, I've heard of the Pomodoro technique,
Mm-hmm.
but to be honest, I don't really know what it is. Can you break that down for us?
Sure. It's a time management method that uses intervals of focused work followed by short breaks.
Okay.
So you might work for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break. It's a great way to boost productivity and avoid burning out.
It makes sense. It's like tricking your brain into staying focused.
Yeah.
Okay, so besides calendar apps and the Pomodoro technique, what other time-saving tools does Yahboy Rick recommend?
He's a huge advocate for automation apps.
Oh, yeah?
Those little digital lifesavers that can handle all those repetitive tasks that eat up our time.
Yeah, tell me more about those. I feel like I'm constantly doing the same things over and over again.
He talks a lot about Zapier and IFTTT,
Mm.
which are platforms that connect different apps and automate workflows.
Okay.
You can set it up so that, let's say when you receive a new email from a client, it automatically gets added to your project management tool, and a thank you email is sent back to the client, all without you having to do a thing.
Hold on, back up a second. You said automate workflows.
Yeah.
What exactly does that mean? Can you explain it like I'm 5?
Think of it like this. An automation workflow is like a set of digital instructions you create.
Okay.
You're essentially telling the app, when this happens, do that.
Mm.
For example, you could link your email to your calendar and have it automatically create a calendar event for every meeting invitation you receive.
Okay, now I get it. So instead of me manually entering every meeting into my calendar,
Right.
Zapier can do it for me automatically. That's amazing.
Exactly. And it's not just emails and calendars.
Right.
You can automate tasks across all sorts of apps, from social media to project management to note-taking.
This is blowing my mind. I had no idea these tools even existed.
Yeah.
What else does the book recommend for automation?
Yay Boy Rick also suggests using shortcuts on iOS devices.
Okay.
It's a built-in app that allows you to create automated routines for common actions.
Hmm?
For example, You could create a shortcut that automatically sends a text message to your family when you leave work, letting them know you're on your way home.
So it's like having your phone do all the little things for you so you can focus on the bigger things.
Right.
I love that.
Exactly. And it's not just about saving time, it's about freeing up mental bandwidth.
Yeah.
When you're not constantly bogged down by those little tasks, you have more energy and focus for the things that truly matter.
So we've talked about time management and automation,
Right.
but I know the book also delves into personal finance.
Yeah.
A lot of us feel overwhelmed when it comes to managing our money, so I'm curious to hear what Yaboy Rick suggests in this area.
He dedicates a whole section to using AI to get a grip on your finances.
Okay.
He recommends apps like Mint and YNEB,
Uh-huh.
which help you track your spending, create budgets, and make smarter financial decisions.
Yeah.
He also highlights Acorns,
Mm-hmm.
which automatically invests your spare change from everyday purchases.
That's so cool. It's like investing without even thinking about it. I've heard of those apps, but I
Yeah.
always assumed they were really complicated to use.
That's another misconception that Yaboy Rick addresses. He breaks down how to use these apps in a way that's simple and easy to understand,
Correct.
even if you're not a finance whiz.
I love that he's making these tools accessible to everyone,
Oh.
regardless of their technical skills. It's empowering, you know? He also talks about how AI can be used to boost our creativity, right?
Absolutely. He's a big proponent of using tools like Canva for designing graphics,
Mm.
CapCut and InShot for editing videos, and Grammarly for improving your writing. These are all AI-powered tools that can help you express yourself in new and exciting ways.
I've used Canva before, and it's
What?
amazing.
Yeah.
It's so user-friendly.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a graphic designer to create professional-looking social media posts,
Right.
flyers, presentations, all sorts of things.
Exactly. And CapCut and InShot make video editing accessible to anyone.
Right.
You don't need fancy equipment or years of experience to create engaging videos.
And then there's Grammarly, which is a lifesaver for anyone who writes, whether it's for work, school, or even just personal emails. It's like having a personal editor in your pocket,
Yeah.
catching all those typos and grammatical errors we tend to miss.
It's amazing how AI is transforming the way we create content.
Yeah.
And of course, no discussion of AI would be complete without mentioning social media. Yoale Rick offers some really helpful advice on how to use AI to manage your social media presence effectively.
Yeah, social media can be a huge time suck if you're not careful.
Mhm.
What does he suggest?
He recommends using tools like Hootsuite and Buffer to schedule and automate your social media posts across multiple platforms.
Okay.
This can be a game changer for businesses or anyone who uses social media for personal branding.
So instead of spending hours each day posting on different platforms,
Right.
you can plan your content in advance and let these tools handle the posting for you. That frees up a ton of time.
Exactly. And what's really important is that he doesn't just tell you to use these tools. He emphasizes the importance of having a clear strategy,
Right.
understanding your audience and creating content that resonates. He also stresses the need for authenticity,
Yeah.
which is something we often lose sight of in the quest for likes and followers.
That's so true. It's easy to get caught up in the numbers game and forget that social media is ultimately about connecting with people.
Right. And Yaboy Rick reminds us that these tools should be used to build genuine connections, share your message with the world, and grow your influence in a way that feels authentic and meaningful.
This is all great stuff, but I do have one concern.
Okay.
While these AI tools sound incredibly helpful, isn't there a risk of becoming too reliant on technology? What about the importance of human connection and real-world experiences?
That's a valid concern, and Yaboy Rick actually addresses that in the book.
Okay.
He acknowledges that technology can be a double-edged sword. He reminds us that it's important to be mindful of our technology use and to avoid falling into the trap of constant distraction.
So it's about finding that balance, right?
Right.
Using technology as a tool to support our goals and well-being, but not letting it control us.
Exactly. He talks about setting screen time limits, batching tasks, and practicing phone-free time to disconnect and recharge.
I love that. Sometimes we just need to unplug and be present in the moment without any distractions.
He encourages us to take regular breaks from our devices, engage in activities that don't involve screens, and be fully present in our interactions with others.
It's a good reminder that true fulfillment doesn't come from constant connection, but from meaningful connection with ourselves, with others, and with the world around us.
And that brings us back to the core message of AI for hustlers.
Yeah.
It's about reclaiming your time, aligning your energy with your purpose, and building a life that reflects your values and brings you true joy. It's about using AI as a tool to empower us to live more intentionally, to connect more deeply, and to create a life that feels rich and meaningful, both for ourselves and for others. And on that note, we're going to take another quick pause. When we come back in part 3, we'll be wrapping up our deep dive into AI for hustlers with some final thoughts and key takeaways. Stay with us. Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into AI for hustlers. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling incredibly inspired to
Yeah,
start putting some of these ideas into action.
me too. This book is a real call to action. It encourages us to step out of that hustle mindset and design a life that's truly aligned with what matters most to us.
And it shows us that AI isn't some futuristic concept that's only accessible to a select few.
Right.
It's a tool we can all use right now to streamline our lives
Yeah.
and free up more time for the things we love.
One of the things that really struck me about this book is that it goes beyond just the practical aspects of using AI.
It also challenges us to shift our mindset, to reevaluate our definition of success, and to prioritize those things that truly bring joy and fulfillment.
Exactly. It's not just about being more efficient, it's about being more intentional.
Right.
It's about living a life that's rich in meaning and connection, both with ourselves and with others.
It's about recognizing that true wealth lies not in how much we accumulate, but in how we live, how we connect, and how we contribute to the world around us.
And ultimately, that's what makes AI for Hustlers such a powerful and timely book. It's a reminder that we have the power to shape our lives, to break free from the limiting beliefs and systems that hold us back, and to create a future that aligns with our deepest values and aspirations.
It's a call to step into our full potential, to embrace the possibilities that technology offers, and to use those tools to build a world that's just more connected and more fulfilling for everyone.
Now, as we wrap up our deep dive, I want to leave you with a final thought-provoking question
Yeah.
that Cowboy Rick poses in the book. He asks, if you could automate just 3 tasks in your life right now using AI, which tasks would free up the most time for you to focus on the things you truly value?
That's such a great question. Take a moment to really reflect on that. What are those tasks that drain your energy, steal your precious time, and keep you from being fully present in your life? How could you leverage the power of AI to free yourself from those burdens?
It's a powerful invitation to step back, reevaluate how we're spending our time, and make conscious choices that align with our deepest desires and goals.
It's a reminder that we have more control over our lives than we often realize. With a little creativity and the right tools, we can create a future that feels both expansive and fulfilling.
So if you're feeling inspired to escape that hamster wheel, to reclaim your time, and to build a life that truly reflects your values, I highly recommend checking out AI for Hustlers by Boy Rick. And remember, he provides a link to his No Bullshit community in the book, which you can also find in our show notes.
It's a fantastic resource for connecting with like-minded individuals, getting support, and continuing this journey of personal growth and intentional living.
We hope you've enjoyed this deep dive, and we encourage you to continue exploring these ideas, experimenting with these tools, and building a life that feels rich, meaningful, and authentically yours.
Until next time, keep diving deep, keep learning, and keep creating a life that you love.